Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we will talk about cash flow statement. So this will be a very interesting video. Hope you enjoy it. Um, I will be giving all the links to the creation of this financial model at the end screen of this video. Also, I'll be putting all the links on the video in the description of this video when the whole financial model will be ready. So give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. And let's start talking about cash flow statement. So today we are preparing cash flow statement for massage business idea. And first of all, we have to mention that we are not putting any inputs directly inside the cash flow statement. So before cash flow statement we have lots of lines of inputs describing revenues, expenses. So first of all, we start with describing our services. We are creating algorithms to switch on and off for different types of massage, from calculations to see the simple discounted payback period of in this or that scenario. Then we describe pricing, then we add coefficients to prices, to massage prices. Then we describe the level of direct expenses inside massage prices, add coefficients for direct expenses. For scenario play, we specify the duration of the massage services to make us be able to create the revenue generating algorithm that we will trust. Then we start describing the typical week of our massage salon. So here we specify the amount of working hours from Monday till Sunday. Then we specify what types of services do we have in typical Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to create the realistic picture of revenues for each day of the week, direct expenses for each of the week, occupied time inside the working hours, and make a decision whether it is a real story or we need to, for example, delete some services. So for example, we think that, so here we have 69% occupancy of working hours, so we suppose that we think that it is unreal and we delete some services here. Then we look here and start, for example, so we still think that it is too much. Then we say that 31% of time occupancy for Monday, it's okay. So this is the realistic revenue for Monday. So, and then we create such portraits for typical Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and other days of the week. So this is very important because when we are talking about cash flow statement, the level, so the quality of your cash flow statement depends on the quality and the level of granularity of your calculations that you are doing before. So that's why we prepared all these inputs daily, describing the typical week. And this is very important for the cash flow statement, because if you are doing if you are preparing cash flow statement using very average values, when the cash flow statement will be ready, you won't even trust it, because cash flow statement will show you the amount of financing that you will need to start the business, your revenues, profitability, and so on, and you won't trust these numbers. That's why we are preparing the revenue numbers and expense numbers, this level of granularity. So then we specify the seasonality for our massage salon. Then we specify when we start the revenue, when we open our business, when we get the first revenues, month and year. Then we specify how the speed that we are reaching the target revenues from the first month of operating activity from this moment. Then we get the revenues that will go to cash flow statement. Then we get direct expenses that will go to cash flow statement as well. Then we describe the investment plan. These numbers, this red line, will also go to cash flow statement. Then we specify fixed costs, and they will appear in our cash flow statement later. We talk about payroll. Here it is. Then we
add a loan if we do have a one. So here we specify amount of loan, for example, term of loan, interest rate, grace period for principal payments, interest payments, and then we specify when we get this loan. So the story of about cash flow statement is all about the level of detail, because if you create a model with a significant level of detail, high level of detail, you will be very close to reality. When you play different scenarios, you will be able to see how much money you need to start the business in bad scenario, basic scenario, good scenario. So and you will be quite close to real numbers, and that's why cash flow statement is very important. So now let's consolidate all this data that I was just showing you in the statement. So I will be creating a new timeline for cash flow statement. Cash flow statement. So data on group. So we will start with revenues. Now we go up to our model, and we are searching for this is the line typical year revenues, and these are this is the line with revenues. So I'm taking this value, this line, so these are revenues. I'm extrapolating this to the right. Now we are adding direct expenses. I'm going up, and now I'm searching for direct expenses line. This is red line, it will go to cash flow statement. Next step, we will add the payroll. So we are not putting any inputs inside the cash flow statement. It's completely automized table where we will be able to see the all the project, the breadth of our business idea. And the quality of this table depends on the quality and level of detail that you perform earlier before preparing it. So this is the secret, this is the actual secret of the cash flow statement. So payroll we are taking from here. Now we'll extrapolate this formula to the right. Then we are going to add fixed expenses. Fixed expenses will come from here, fixed costs. Let me just group this data. So we are just pulling the data from the outputs higher the cash flow statement. So we are not putting anything manually, because when we start scenario analysis, all we put manually will move us to making mistakes, and to avoid all these mistakes, the cash flow statement must be totally automized. So these are fixed expenses, so we need to add a loan, payroll added, fixed expenses added, investment item we will need it inside the investment activity, revenues added, direct expenses added. Now let's move to taxes. So we will create a small block of inputs for taxes. So I will create a new block of inputs, name it taxes, name, then rate, so first of all, for example, we have revenue tax, then payroll tax, then we have, for example, we have profit tax, then we have asset tax, and here we'll put the rates. These cells will be the input, so I'm coloring these cells with blue, because blue is the specific color which goes with all our inputs. So for example, revenue tax will be 3%, payroll tax, just let's give them the correct format. This will be percentages. So for example, 3% tax from revenue, payroll for example 8, profit tax for example 6, asset tax for example we will have $2,000 payment per month. Let's asset tax. Then let's group the data here. Data group. So here we will place the name of taxes. So first of all we calculate the revenue tax. So we take the revenue, multiply on the tax rate. Then we calculate payroll tax. Then we calculate asset tax, so we take this value and start paying this tax during operating activities. So we are moving to the top where we have the timeline of our project. So here is the project timeline. When we start operating activity, we start paying this tax. 0 means that we don't have operating activity at this moment, 1 means that we do have, and then we multiply the payment on 0 or 1. Then I press enter. Then I will create totals for the taxes. I will calculate profit tax a little bit after, because I need to add loan payments for profit calculation. Then I create the end of first part of the cash flow statement. So this is the result from operating activity. Result from operating So this is how your business idea performs when you take revenues minus direct expenses minus payroll minus fixed expenses minus taxes, all expenses but loan. So this is how your net breadth of your business idea. So let's color this line with yellow. So this is the end of the first big part of cash flow statement. Then we move to investment plan. So let's group this data. So now we're moving to investment. So here we have we link our investment plan to the cash flow statement. So here it is. So investment plan. So this is when we have the investment period. Then we create totals. these are the totals for investment. Then I will be extrapolating these formulas to the right. So now we will create the next final the ending line of the cash flow statement for investment activity. So result from investment activity. This is the second part of our cash flow statement. I will take equals and take this sum with an opposite sign, because investment activity is when we spend the money. In this particular case, that's why we have minus here. So we take the total of this with an opposite sign. Now let's group this data. Then we are moving to the last part of the cash flow statement. This will be investment activity, financing activity of our business idea. So here we will put, for example, money that we put inside the project. Let's call it equity. Then we put the loan. Then we pay for this loan principal payments, interest payments, maybe this is the only line in cash flow statement where we put the data manually, but also we can automate this story work. I will show you how you do it. You can do it in the next videos. So this is line where we will be specifying our own putting our own money in the project. Then here we will create the line for result from financing activity. This will be equity plus taking the loan minus principal payment minus interest payment. Then I'm extrapolating this formula to the right. Then I will highlight it with yellow because it is the third part of our cash flow statement. Then I will create the line called cash balance at the beginning of period, and here the last line of cash flow statement will be cash balance at the end. So here cash balance at the beginning of period will be 0 at the first month. Then cash balance, let me highlight it with this color, this will be the end of the cash flow statement. Then cash balance at the end of the period will be total of result from operating activity plus the result from investment activity plus the result from financing activity plus cash balance at the beginning of the period. Then I'm taking this value here. This will be the cash balance at the beginning of the next month of the February. So I press here equals and put the cursor here. Press enter. And now we just have to extrapolate this formula to the right. So we are adding operating investment and financial activity results plus cash balance at the beginning of the period. So we are extrapolating to the cells to the right. And we have a blank space inside taxes for profit tax. So here we will write a very simple formula. So if revenues minus direct expenses minus payroll minus fixed costs minus revenue tax minus payroll tax minus asset tax minus principal payment minus interest payments. If this story is more than 0, then we will take, this will be the tax base, and we will multiply it on the tax rate. So profit tax rate is located here. We are freezing this cell. So if this is more than 0, then we calculate the tax. Otherwise 0, then we are closing brackets. Because we have losses here, so when I will extrapolate this amount to the right, we will have zeros as well. But when we will adjust the data, we will get the profit tax payments. So now we are done with the cash flow statement. I will be giving the link to the whole playlist where I'm creating this financial model of a massage business idea from scratch at the end of this at the end screen of this video. Also, when the whole model will be ready, I will be putting all the links on the process of creation of this model in the description of this video. So like, share, subscribe. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. So see you guys in next videos. Thank you and bye.